So you guys, you've mentioned it a few times that you have spent your marriage kind of not really together, which is interesting because I think a lot of people don't really understand the life of working actors, right? You're always traveling and somewhere on a set. So I wonder, because you guys have been together almost 12 years?
We dated for 12 years.
October.
We had our 10-year wedding anniversary this past February.
Oh, cool. Congrats.
12 next month.
Yeah.
Dating.
So what do you think is better for you guys? Because my husband and I are joking. First of all, we're like scotch taped to each other's sides. But now that I've been in Connecticut for 2 months, we're kicking ass. And I go, honey, maybe we're better alone.
No, it's better together. Better together.
I know. But at the same time, when we're together, I'm like, can we just watch TV together?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know yet. Again, I this sounds like I'm copping out. You probably have a better.
No, I think what's great for me is that like we had these moments of like intense, like whirlwind almost vacations, because he'd come in and then he'd leave, and then he'd have like a 2-month hiatus, and often it was in Europe, and we'd go along in Europe, and it was these fun little adventures, and it wasn't a day-to-day grind of in and out of like carpooling and dinner making and timeouts and poop on the floor, and like
that's all just me. That's not even the kids. A lot of pooping on the floor.
And I think what was great also about the being away is that we both formed our own like routines and schedules, and we're both independently productive. We don't like to sit still, so I think we were able to have those check-ins. And what's great now, what's good and bad, is that we have to compromise. So sometimes if there's a door left open,
She's teasing me because I leave the door open.
He leaves the door open.
I will say this. I've been home for a day, and speaking of compromise, I'm remembering that she keeps the house at like 85 degrees.
Poor Jared, I'm sorry.
It's not 85, but it's good golly. I just got out of the shower, and I feel like I need to go take another one.
It's because I have the light.
Oh my God.
Yeah, every time we get to a hotel room or whatever, if we're staying somewhere, I always click the air conditioning down, and I'll hear her in the bathroom like, "Are you kidding me?" Like she can sense that the air conditioning is turned on. And so then I go to the bathroom, take a shower, and I get back out, and it's set to like 78 degrees. Like, what's wrong with you?
Oh my God.
I know. What's great is that we do we compromise and have our own schedules that we like form together.
Yeah. And
I feel like because we've been apart for so long, we're really good at communicating. So
yeah, I guess you have to. I guess that is. I never thought about that. When you are apart and when you don't see somebody else's face and skin and smell them and see their smile, you really have to get better at communication, because it's so difficult to communicate even in person, much less over text in between setups or over a Zoom call while the kids are getting ready for school or I'm at work, and everything's hectic. So you really have to dial in your communication. You can kind of work it out when you're with somebody and you're talking for 5 minutes and it's like, hey, what does that mean? Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I was asking blah, blah, blah. I didn't mean to sound cold. But since we were apart for so long, I feel like by accident, our communication had to kind of get dialed in.
Well, and we also went an extra mile, and both of us we are both in therapy. And I think that's also a big contributor in helping our communicating and our communication skills. Just for us, like wanting to be better, understanding ourselves, and also be better with each other and working at our marriage. And I think that, I know for me, I don't want to speak for you.
No, I agree. I think we are. I'm confident we are better together.
We are better together. With a long-winded explanation, but yes, I think it is also important to take those times. I think finding your independence too is really important, even if that's an hour by yourself somewhere,
jogging,
a weekend. I think it's really important to find your own.
Well, that's our compromise. Talking about viewing, like my alone time is an hour in the morning in the gym. Her alone time is an hour at night in front of TV. So I give her hour, she gives me my hour, and we're better together.
All as well. What about? So now you guys are going to be, I was just thinking, you guys are going to be working together like full time, like
Yeah.
on Walker.
Yeah.
So
Talk
now-
about Scott to each other.
How is that? Like, have you guys had the discussions? Like, are you nervous about that?
Yeah, we actually were talking about it last night.
Yeah. I'm really excited. I mean, we met working together. And so we worked together really well off the get 12 years ago. And a lot has transpired since then. But yeah, I'm really excited. We start October 27th as of now. We'll see what happens. You know, anything could happen in these crazy pandemic days.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited, and I get to work with her every now and again. She gets to go and re-work out and recondition those acting muscles that she's had for so long. So it's gonna be fun.
I will say I love every relationship I have with you, but one of my favorite relationships is working with Jared. Jared is, he's the biggest cheerleader. Like, honestly, in everything that I do, he's the biggest cheerleader for me. Well, like when it was from, I put my career on pause and like started a blog, and he was like, let me read this, let me help you, let me go over this. Like, what are your thoughts on, like, he is constantly cheerleading. And when we were working together too, whether it was from season 4 when we weren't married but dating, or just doing a guest spot, he was off. He wasn't even working that day or whatever, and he's sitting in a chair making sure that I'm comfortable and cheering me on and going, hey, do you see that's my wife? Like, look how amazing my wife. Like,
it was self-serving. I wanted to make sure she was saying nice things about me.
No.
So
Kelsey's crying over here, by the way. Literally, like hysterical.
Can I have this? I want this marriage. I love you guys.
Aww.
I mean, listen, we're normal people. Like, we have our moments.
Yeah.
But
We all do.
yeah,
We all do.
like, what we put
Yeah.
out there isn't the data.
And the irony is, the longer you're together, the harder it gets in some ways, and the easier it gets in some ways.
Yeah, sure. I see
So
that.
it's kind of weird, like because you're going to be all these junctures where you're like, oh, we're going to grow together. Okay, we made it. Whew. Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to grow together. Oh, that was
But
a
I guess
close
it's
one.
nice to-
Oof.
It's nice to go through that. I mean, every disagreement, when you come out the other side and you realize, okay, it was a misunderstanding or whatever happened, you've been there and you're going to get through it again. And what's that? I don't think it's Ruby. There's a quote like, no feeling is final. And so as frustrated as you can get, you're tired, or she's tired, or it's a late day, or I'm going to home at 4 a.m. because I'm filming, and she's waking up because it's 6 a.m. in Austin and she's waking up with the kids. And, I'm at the end of my day, she's at the beginning of hers, and we're just on different wavelengths. But then you wake up and you go like, oh yeah, I mean, she was awake and I was tired and grumpy and whatever the situation was. So it'll be fun to work together. I don't know who's going to watch the kids, because if she's not here, if I'm working and then she's working, I might have to try and take up some
our
responsibilities.
8-year-old will.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.